Good evening, everyone, and welcome here to Darlington for round 22 of the championship season. Coming into this event, some news headlines. Charlie Smith has announced that he'll be driving for Pontiac next season at Horizon Group. He'll be alongside of Joseph Shrigley. Right now, Shrigley's having an outstanding run in the Hardee's National Series, being promoted full-time to the Cup Series. In that Pontiac project, Horizon Group and Red Bull Racing working together closely with a technical alliance, with Pontiac on its return, Mercedes on its debut next season. That's going to be one to watch when you see 6 manufacturers attempting to run full-time next year. And also, some news headlines that the Sony Cup Series could be on the verge of its shortest season in the modern era. We've ran 36 races from 2015 to 2018, and then 30 races from 2019 to this season of 2021. And it could possibly be a shortened season in 2022, a shorter race schedule. However, nothing is to be confirmed. But coming in this event, Richard Johnson, fastest in practice, fastest in qualified, took pole position. And Johnson's last victory in the Sony Cup Series coming back in 2016. It's been 5 years, but Monster Energy Racing has been super quick in the last handful of races. Ryan Griffin, his teammate, starting in 4th position. Red Bull Racing has Samuel England right there in row 2 on the bottom and starting in 3rd position. But Turner Performance Racing, Cybertron Motorsports, they have been super quick. And Jesse Turner, he's the points leader by 63 over DJ Curtis. But Turner, he's won at this track 3 times. He's the favorite to win here at Darlington. He knows how to get around this track and loves this event. He started dead last year in 2018 and went on to win. Let's get down to start the race. Darlington, round 22 of the championship season is about to get underway. 2 experienced veterans in the first row, Richard Johnson, Dillon Young, and then some more youngsters in row 2, Samuel England, Ryan Griffin. Then you have James Shelley and DJ Curtis. Curtis was able to close the title lead down to 63 after Decatur with his win stretching on fuel mileage. What will this championship fight unfold look like here at Darlington tonight? As Richard Johnson, the old king himself, is going to bring the field to green, and we're racing for round 22. Through turns 1 and 2, Richard Johnson's able to get the jump on Dillon Young. Able to clear him. Dillon Young's also able to get out ahead of Samuel England. Young in the 16. Turner Performance Racing has really made a step forward in the last 5 races or so. And Turner Performance Racing looking super good as James Shelley in the 71 to the inside for 3rd position. Samuel England drops to 4th place. But leading lap 1 of the event, it is Richard Johnson. We come to complete lap 2 of the event tonight. Dillon Young, in his Turner Performance Racing Ford, able to drive it to the inside of Richard Johnson. He's able to take the race lead at the start-finish line. And Dillon Young, he has won the Daytona 500. He's won in Indianapolis, but he has never won at Darlington. It would be one of the few moments we've ever seen a driver win at all 3 tracks. Dillon Young's hoping to put that on his resume. Another Turner Performance Racing driver, this time in the hands of James Shelley, looking to move up another place. But Monster Energy Racing's own Richard Johnson able to power back on the high side. Shelley trying to keep it down there. This track is a lot wider than it has been in seasons past, so it makes getting in the corner a lot better, but you don't want to be too low. You got to be up near the wall to make some speed. James Shelley, though, up to 2nd place. Shades of Indianapolis when Young and Shelley were both 1-2 at the title at one point, and Griffin round the outside of Samuel England. Griffin kind of took England to school. England in his rookie year really coming into his own for Red Bull Racing. He kind of struggled in the first half of the season. Lately, England at Decatur finished 6th place. Oh, Baker and Benyako are in the wall. Absolutely pancaked the right side of their machines. As Benyako losing a lot of positions. He was the highest running CM Racing driver up until that point. Dejon Weeks was able to make that pass, and Weeks has not had the runner results he would have really liked, although he did win a fuel mileage race at Watkins Glen. Right now he's in 17th position, sandwiched in between Rodriguez Racing's Matthew Rodriguez and Dillon Schwellenberg. DJ Curtis up front in the 19 has been able to make do with Ryan Griffin and Samuel England. Jesse Turner trying to follow him. Turner and Curtis are right now locked in with a titanic battle in this title race. Up front though, Richard Johnson trying to give Monster Energy Racing something to shout for as he's side by side with Dillon Young in the turn 1. The inside groove in the turn 1 can kind of get a really shallow entrance, but Johnson able to make do and clear Dillon Young for the race lead. Teammates at the front of the field, Turner Performance, James Shelley, Dillon Young, and Shelley gonna make that pass done for second position. Really, all the way back to Jesse Turner in 6th place. They are all on top of each other from 2nd to 6th. Shelley, though, passing his teammate, DJ Curtis, Ryan Griffin. Griffin gonna make a move on Curtis. This is for 4th place. Richard Johnson out front and Ryan Griffin in the top 5, but possibly not for now. Here comes Turner. Turner gonna make that run to the outside of Griffin. And Jesse Turner wants to try and extend his championship advantage. He is so good here at Darlington. And Turner has 1 car left to pass to try and extend his championship lead in this race. Curtis, though, way up high, trying to get a run on Dillon Young. And a little further back in the field, some drivers making their Sony Cup Series debut. Roberto Crown Jr. for Tommy Roberts Racing was able to make this event in the 21 car. Oh, crash on the front straightaway. Somebody has spun. Well, I saw some smoke. There it is, Jeffrey Lynn. Lynn in the 76 has gone around in his BWT Dodge. And Jeffrey Lynn, it's just not been the season Horizon Group would really have wanted. They have struggled to find success. Although they ran really well at Decatur, Jeffrey Lynn is the first caution flag of the night. Racing for 21st, Jeffrey Lynn made contact with Dillon Schwellenberg. Schwellenberg really deep down the order. Maybe Jeffrey Lynn kind of came over on Dillon Schwellenberg. Slight contact and damage for Lynn and Schwellenberg. And Jeffrey Lynn slid down the track. He's going to be able to keep on going. But for Dillon Schwellenberg to be outside the top 20 early on, he's got a lot of work to make up in this event. While pit stops are unfolding, Richard Johnson in the 47 is in 2nd position. And coming to the caution flag, he bounced off the wall. So Richard Johnson's going to have to do some damage repair. You can see the damage on the right side of the 47. Back to the restart. James Shelley on lap 16 is the race leader by virtue of taking the race lead from Richard Johnson right before the caution flag. Johnson remarkably was able to stay in the top 5 after repairing damage. DJ Curtis, Jesse Turner, the title contenders, 2nd and 3rd. And Luke Martin with strategy is in the top 5. Then it's Dillon Young down a ways with Ryan Griffin, Cody Lamas, Aiden Davidson. They were able to leapfrog some drivers. Same with Rodriguez. They are all in the top 10. Also, to follow up on what we were talking about, Ryan Butcher making his Sony Cup Series debut this race weekend in the 80. Mitchell Collins made back-to-back races at Michigan and Decatur in the 80 for the 3rd straight week at Orange Auto is in the race in car 80. Front of the pack, DJ Curtis is attacking on James Shelley. And DJ Curtis with 4 wins on the season, looking to bag his 5th win of the season. Curtis, I think in his championship year in 2017, he might have, James Shelley nearly caught the wall there, but Curtis in 2017 might have grabbed 5 wins. I need to be able to check that. But Curtis and Turner, they have won the most races of any driver this season, and Turner trying to follow Curtis to the front. These two are driving superbly this season. And car 17 is in the picture and into 2nd place. Luke Martin on the attack of an old veteran of Richard Johnson. Monster Energy Racing has 3 championships right there in race cars, the 47 and the 36. Ryan Griffin, he is an amazing talent, even though he has struggled to get the grips of that Monster Energy Racing Dodge this season. Griffin in the 37 on the pursuit of Dillon Young. And Matthew Rodriguez Rodriguez is in 8th place. Further back in 9th, Cody Lamas, Zayden Davidson. Racing side by side is doing them no favors. They are losing touch with the leaders. But up front, DJ Curtis has to defend with all his might. He kind of runs sort of near the bottom. Closer to the bottom than he normally would to make the apex of turn 1. But Curtis and Turner, two of the best of their generation. And Turner trying to find a way around DJ Curtis. Has another big run in turn 3 and 4. And with 3 wins at Darlington, Jesse Turner, this is not a home race for him, but this might as well be his home. Jesse Turner knows how to get the win done. Heat side by side in turn 1 and 2. Turner's got the edge, but Curtis is pedaling it off turn 2, trying to stay alongside of him. 1 and 2 in the driver's standings. Jesse Turner trying to deny DJ Curtis of another win back-to-back weeks. Curtis side by side has to run off the corner. And Jesse Turner, that inside line, not going to prevail this time. And Jesse Turner's going to have to back down of this battle for now, but he is still putting the pressure on. Schwellenberg in the 10, trying to race with Samuel England into the corner. But Schwellenberg, he has bounced off the wall twice in this race, and he had to lift a whole lot in turn 1. But Schwellenberg and Cody Lamas, they entered this race 3rd and 4th in the point standings. And to be outside the top 10 at this stage in the race, it just shows that they're struggling with their race car, and they need another adjustment on pit stops. Further ahead, Samuel England continuing to impress me today. Decatur, he ran very well. 6th place, his best finish of the season. Schwellenberg again struggling with this race car. In the wall hard. And Schwellenberg is going to hinder for more damage. And that's going to hurt the aero and the handling on that 10 IK9 Toyota Camry. And Jake Bassinger goes on by. Dillon Schwellenberg, when you're coming in this race 2 races behind the points leader, and there's 8 races to go after this, you cannot afford to be losing ground in the title race. Griffin's going to be the first of the leaders to come down pit road. Green flag pit stops of the night. Now, green flag pit stops a couple of times have bit some drivers when pitting early, but Griffin, if you can get the undercut done right, it can work to perfection. And Griffin, he's come down so very early. You know, everyone pitted when Jeffrey Lynn spun, so this is extremely early. And I expect probably 2 more stops after this for Ryan Griffin. So yeah, this is extremely early for Ryan Griffin to be coming down pit road. Roberto Crown Jr. going 1 lap down in that 21 Tommy Roberts Ford. DJ Curtis just up ahead of Jesse Turner. Pit stop should be coming up very soon. However, the more I look at it, the more the laps tick away. It is just very surprising that Ryan Griffin pitted as early as he did. Tire wear is definitely a factor at this junction in the race. And Turner working his way underneath of the first lap car of the night. Lap 50 of the event, and we're seeing the leaders come down pit road. Jesse Turner, James Shelley, and Luke Martin are in the pits. It didn't even take long, did it? Here comes DJ Curtis. 1 lap later, you know, he's not going to risk the undercut from Jesse Turner in this event. Not going to let him have the satisfaction of that. But Turner will have 1 lap fresher tires, or Curtis will have 1 lap fresher tires than Turner. But how will Turner prevail on the outlap? Jay Curtis leaving pit road, and here comes Jesse Turner. Turner the outside, round DJ Curtis, and with 1 lap fresher tires, is able to get the jump on Curtis. Unbelievable how undercutting by 1 lap just prevails you way out front. And Curtis is not only going to lose the lead to Jesse Turner, but he's also going to lose second to James Shelley and 3rd place to Luke Martin. However, Jesse Turner is not your race leader. 3.5 seconds up the road is Ryan Griffin. Remember, he pitted close to about 15 laps earlier than everyone else. So Ryan Griffin and Monster Energy Racing on a very different pit strategy. And well, Griffin, he's going to be losing a lot of time in the next handful of laps to what everyone else behind him are going to be running. Turner was 3.6 back, and he cut half a second down in just 1 lap. So Ryan Griffin could have company in the next coming laps. An attaboy to Ryan Butcher for Orange Auto. Currently, this 80 car for Butcher on debut is in 26th position. And this 80 team's really made a leap forward. 3 races back to back to back of making the race with Mitchell Collins in 2 of them, and then Butcher making his debut here at Darlington. He is ahead of a Rodriguez racing car, a CM racing car, and a United Emirates racing machine. Sean Harple, James Sorfox are 29th and 30th, 1 lap down. Alex Benyakos down in 28th. Nick Brading in the 54, the 3rd car for Rodriguez Racing, going to the inside. That is 4th position. So Butcher having a whale of a run right now. He drops down to 27th, but you want to give him an attaboy. He's doing a phenomenal job at the front of the field. Jesse Turner has wasted no time. 4 laps, that's all it took. 4 laps to cut down about a 3.5 second lead. Ryan Griffin gonna lose the race lead after lap 60, no doubt. Jesse Turner ate that margin up, but he's also got to worry a little bit about his teammate of James Shelley. He's trying to close the gap as well, but look at this. Vince Freeze lap car just in front of Jesse Turner, holding up Turner. And Griffin actually is able to hold off Turner for this lap, but could possibly see a lead change down the straightaway. Turner and Griffin side by side for the race lead. Ryan Griffin has struggled a lot this season, so it is good to see Griffin out front in a Sony Cup Series race. He won a couple of races late in the season with Allen Family Racing Team last year, but a lot of fortunes have just not gone his way. Richard Johnson and Bobby Jones have been able to bring that Monster Energy racing car out a lot better than what Griffin's been able to do. And Griffin, his reputation for being a driver to really get the most out of his car has been hurt a whole lot this season. A lot of people expected Griffin to do more in that 37 than what he has done, but he is running 2nd place and possibly on a good strategy to try and win today's race. Martin down the inside of DJ Curtis, last year's champion, still has it going on. For Monster Energy Racing, you have Ryan Griffin, who's probably going to drop down to 3rd in a couple of laps if he hasn't already. James Shelley is closing in on him. But Martin and Curtis, they're in a wad of race cars right now, trying to get past the lap traffic. Curtis rim riding the top side, able to keep last year's champion behind him. And he needs to try and keep every car back as possible. It is kind of tough to pass here at Darlington. Look at Martin trying to throw a block on James Silverfox there. He's for the lead. Is going to be on here soon. James Shelley is closing in on Jesse Turner for the lead. Vince Freeze right in the middle of this. Jesse Turner struggling with Vince Freeze. Kind of struggled to get by him and Ryan Griffin for about a lap. Then was able to put Vince Freeze behind him. But Shelley, also in a throwback scheme, there's only 3 throwbacks for this race weekend. The 17, the 71, and the 54 just behind them. But Griffin is in 3rd position, but will possibly lose that to DJ Curtis in a handful of laps. Curtis is in 4th place. Luke Martin just lost 5th to Dillon Young there. Young is back in the top 5. Luke Martin down to 6th. Then is Matthew Rodriguez. And then Zayden Davidson, Richard Johnson, and then Jake Bassinger. That's the top 10 drivers. That's Bobby Jones, Samuel England, Dylan Schwellenberg, Cody Lamas. Schwellenberg and Lamas really would have wanted something better this race, but they are ways down the running order. Cody Lamas 14th, like we mentioned. 15th is Kyle Collins. Collins was started back in provisional land, had to take a provisional to make the race, and he's in 15th position after that pass on Eric DeMax. And then back in 17th, it's Don Capps. Chris Dodd 18th. Jeffrey White 19th. Then it's Charles Sanford in 20th. Then for 21st, it's Zach Rodgers. 22nd is Dejon Weeks. Then it is Bradley Bishop Jr., Nick Mace in the top 24. And that is all that is left on the lead lap with Vince Freeze, the first car, 1 lap down. Turner's in the wall. Jesse Turner, the race leader, has bounced off the wall in turns 1 and 2. And James Shelley has darted his way to the inside. And Shelley takes the lead down the back straightaway. And Jesse Turner has pounded the wall with his right side. Real going down in a turn 1, the championship leader with everything to lose. He throws it in the wall from the race lead. And Turner that damage could be very severe. He hit the wall a ton, and the next pit stop that he does, he's going to have to make adjustments. He's got one last pit stop to do, and you know that team's going to have to buff out the right side, and that's going to take a while on pit road, and that could take him outside the top 10 places, just like it did at Watkins Glen. And that is something that DJ Curtis and Cybertron Motorsports are going to be thrilled to see, is that Jesse Turner's got troubles just up ahead. And Curtis in the third position, just after passing Ryan Griffin. Griffin continuing to drop down the running order. However, we expect him to be pitting in probably about 10 laps. We know they can go about 30 to 40 laps, so pit stops for Ryan Griffin will come shortly. Dillon Young to the outside of Griffin. This is going to be for 4th place. Dillon Young, his teammates are up the road. All a turn performance right there in 1st, 2nd, 5th, and 10th. So Turn Performance Racing and even Monster Energy Racing to have their 3 drivers 4th, 6th, and 8th. Monster Energy Racing, Cybertron Motorsports, and Turn Performance Racing have been the key teams for this event. But James Shelley, he won at Indianapolis, and he's out front at Darlington in position to win yet another big race of the season. It's on the track for Cody Lamas. Lamas in the Curtis Racing Lowe's Chevy is slowing on the racetrack. Lamas is coming to a stop in the middle of turn 1 and 2. He was running inside the top 15 places. And Cody Lamas, it's going to be a bad points day. Right now, every driver is on the racetrack except for Anthony Marchese. Marchese fell out, and Fitzwater. Fitzwater blew up in the 22. Looks like we missed that. But Lamas has got a mechanical issue that he had to get a tow back to the pits. And this is a disaster for Cody Lamas today. Ryan Griffin exiting pit road, so he has already made his final stop of the day. As he comes back around, it will be, 33 laps to go for the 37 of Ryan Griffin. Looks like he can definitely make it for the rest of the way. Whatever the issue was for the 48 of Cody Lamas, they are changing 4 tires and about to send him out. But that's just not going to cut it for him with the top 2 in the point standings, and even Dylan Schwellenberg in 3rd in the point standings, getting good points day, and Lamas being on the back foot in the standings. It's just not going to come for him, is he? And in this season, to try and fight for the title, they're going to have to regroup this season. They did great. Curtis Racing and Cody Lamas, they have done an amazing job this season to be as good as they have, but it is just not going to be a championship season for that 48 team. With 30 laps of racing to go, we're in the pit window. Drivers can come down pit road for the final time tonight if they choose to do so. However, Shelley and everyone can go a little bit longer, and I expect them to try and go 10 laps longer, if not 20 laps longer. They definitely can do it. Shelley in the 71, we talked about how he's a Daytona 500 winner, and he's won the Daytona 500 in season 17. He won at Indianapolis a few races ago in August. At the start of August, he won the Indianapolis 250, and it's the start of September. For James Shelley in the 71, could he possibly win 2 of the 3 biggest races of the season? We talk about the Daytona 500, the Indianapolis 250, and winning at Darlington being the Triple Crown. And James Shelley is already a previous Daytona 500 winner entering this season, but what it would be if Shelley could scratch off both the Indianapolis 250 and Darlington in one season. He's looking good. He's got an advantage, 1.61 seconds on his teammate Jesse Turner, and Turner, that damage is not helping him whatsoever, and Turner's going to have to make repairs on this final pit stop. So his next closest rival, James Shelley, it is DJ Curtis, and he's 5.5 seconds back. Then another teammate of Dillon Young, near 9 seconds down the road. So James Shelley, unless a caution comes out, he's looking very good at this point in the race. Richard Johnson making a dive underneath of Luke Martin. This is going to be a pass to get into the top 5. And Johnson, the pole sitter, making his way back up the running order. He has struggled in the middle portion of this event, but he's back in the top 5 places. And Johnson, it's been 5 years since his last win at Sonoma in 2016. And this Monster Energy Racing team, if you don't count Ryan Griffin right now, this entire organization is looking so amazing right now. And they're going to be a team for the future, this Monster Energy Racing team. Look at this. Johnson in 5th. Then it is Luke Martin 6th. And then Bobby Jones in 8th. And then Ryan Griffin when final pit stop cycle out. Who knows where he'll cycle out in this. Matthew Rodriguez has done well to try and get himself in the top 10. Dillon Schwellenberg further back has entered the top 10. Pit stops are slowly happening. When will the leaders pit? Jesse Tunner's coming down pit road. Same with James Shelley. DJ Curtis stays out. He's going to try another time around. We know Jesse Tunner and James Shelley, they did the undercut and they got a good advantage on the field by doing 1 lap earlier than DJ Curtis. And Curtis, he's sticking to his guns with the overcut strategy. Here comes Curtis. He's going to come down pit road this time by a very shallow entrance to pit road. There he is now. Dylan Young also going to hit the pits. Matthew Rodriguez in the 9. He's going to stay out to try and lead a lap. No bonus points for leading the lap. But Richard Johnson's going to be side by side. This is going to be for the net lead. However, that battle between James Shelley, DJ Curtis, and Jesse Tunner is going to be the one to watch. Ups are slowly cycling out. James Shelley is in the lead by 3 seconds over Ryan Griffin. Griffin trying to battle the lap cars as they have fresher tires than him. Griffin is going to have to manage these last 20 laps on old tires to try and make it to the end. DJ Curtis is in 3rd position after pit stops. There he is in car 19. Jesse Tunner is nowhere in this top 10. He has fell a long ways back after repairing damage. He is in 11th position, the 17 of Jesse Tunner. Man, and his teammate Jake Bassinger is just ahead of him. Jesse Tunner, they buffed out the back, or the side of that 17 Aflac Ford. And with less than 20 laps to go, Jesse Tunner is going to have to do what he always does, make a big charge at the end of this event, get as much points as possible, because DJ Curtis right now is getting a big haul of points over him to try and reel in even more closer to him in this title battle. Also, how about this? Dillon Schwellenberg, you know, he had a poor early going in this event. You know, he hit the wall twice and had to repair damage on a pit stop when he hit the wall twice in one run. And Dillon Schwellenberg was really struggling with the handle on his 10 car, but Dillon Schwellenberg has just made a pass on last year's champion of Luke Martin, and he's into the top 5. And right now getting a serious amount of points over Jesse Tunner in this event. When I was watching the early going in this event, I thought Dillon Schwellenberg and Cody Lamas, I mean, Lamas had his problem, and Lamas is definitely losing points, but I thought the same was going to happen with Dillon Schwellenberg. Oh, a crash up in front of Schwellenberg! Oh, and he just barely missed it. Vince Freeze in the 55 has been into some trouble down in turn 1. Here's what happened with Vince Freeze. Freeze was racing with Ryan Acosta. Acosta got into the left rear corner panel, spinning Freeze down the track on his side. A pretty hefty hit there for Vince Freeze, but actually doesn't have a whole lot of damage. And he's able to continue on. The caution flag flies. Actually, did the caution flag even fly for that? No, it did not. There is no yellow flag for that. Believable. And James Shelley had to lift a whole lot down in turn 1 because he didn't want to get involved in any accident. But the officials chose to not throw the yellow flag for that accident. And wow. Well, James Shelley keeps his big race lead over Ryan Griffin. Griffin was kind of hoping for a caution, I believe. Well, maybe Griffin's not hoping for a yellow. You know, he's got old tires. He does not want them any closer to him than he would like. Griffin trying to manage at the end of this race. He's looking like he could do that. And DJ Curtis has a lot of damage to the door of that 19. And he's not going to pit anymore in this event, so that's not going to hurt him all too bad. But Curtis goes by into 2nd place with fresher tires than Griffin. Griffin back to 3rd. But 4th place is Bobby Jones. Jones He's kind of been nowhere in this race, been very quiet but methodical. That 30 team got him in the top 5 places, and Bobby Jones, it'd be good to see him have a good run here. Dillon Schwellenberg, we were talking about him before we had to cut away. Right now, to be in the top 5, this is one of those moments where you say never give up. Schwellenberg, I thought he was going to have a poor race, hit the wall twice, and was outside the top 10. I thought he just was not going to have a good day, but with coming up with 12 laps to go, he looks poised to close the championship lead down for him. When it comes to him and Jesse Turner, it's a big margin, 2 races of a points gap. Then Luke Martin's in 6th, and then Richard Johnson 7th. Then Matthew Rodriguez is down in, well, he made a pass on Zayden Davidson. He's in 8th. Then it is Davidson down in 9th. Jake Bassinger is in 10th. And then Jesse Turner in the 17. There he is. He has fell a ways down. Samuel England has been able to make a pass on Jesse Turner, so whatever damage repair they made on that 17 is still not helping them. Turner has a handling issue in these final 10 laps, and Turner's actually in danger of going 1 lap down. And he's trying to race with Samuel England to try and get back in 11th position. Jesse Turner has crashed down in turn 1. The championship leader has spun with Dylan Young and Jeffrey Lynn. And Jesse Turner has just gone from bad to worse for the 17. And Jesse Turner was leading this race before he hit the wall. And once he hit the wall, he had to repair damage, and that's put him back in traffic and into this wreck here late in the race. With less than 10 laps to go, Turner trying to bring it back to the caution flag. And he's gone 1 lap down to that. And James Shelley had an easy race going. He had an 8.5 second advantage over DJ Curtis. He takes the caution flag. This race will have to restart. James Shelley, how many lap cars is he going to have between? It's going to be a single file restart. So that's what James Shelley is going to be at least thankful for, that he's got all these lap cars between him and second place. DJ Curtis is in 2nd position. There he is, a long ways back from James Shelley. This has got to be Shelley's race to lose at this point. It'll be 6 laps to go at the line as they come across. But you see the 17 wadded up. The Affleck Ford is in trouble. Jesse Turner trying to get as much points as possible. Jesse Turner was racing to get by Samuel England for 11th, but lap car Jeffrey Lynn broke right in front of Turner, and he had to slow up a lot in turn 1, and Turner had nowhere to go. Dylan Young clobbered in the back of him as well, and Jeffrey Lynn's car just died on him heading into turn 1, and Lynn's car is out of the race, and Lynn's going to have to retire. But Jesse Turner in the 17, oh my goodness. You know, he hit that wall, made a mistake, hit that wall, and the crew had to repair that car, and it brought him all the way down outside the top 10, and his car just really wasn't the same after that, and then was right behind Jeffrey Lynn when that happened. That is just bad luck, but you kind of make your luck in this race. In racing, you kind of make your luck, and with Jesse Turner hitting the wall first to put him all the way back there, you know, if he wouldn't have hit the wall, he wouldn't have been back there. But Turner, it's damage limitation for him to try and keep Curtis and Schwellenberg from gaining too much points on him today. Well, as we come back to the line, it'll be 2 laps of racing to go. James Shelley has a ginormous lead. I mean, so big, all the way back to DJ Curtis here. Then it's Bobby Jones in 3rd. Then 4th is Dillon Schwellenberg. He needs a run like this compared to Jesse Turner. Griffin in 5th. He's going to have to hold on in these closing 2 laps. Luke Martin 6th. Then it's Richard Johnson in 7th. Then Jake Bassinger in 8th. Zayden Davidson 9th. Matthew Rodriguez is in 10th. The green flag flies for James Shelley in these final 2 laps of the race. Jesse Turner is in 19th place. So Turner needs to try and keep from losing too much positions. But Shelley with a big jump on the rest of the field. You see Turner really slow further back. Tunner's going to need to try and defend against Dom Caps. Caps is in 20th. DJ Curtis is in 2nd place. Don't think he's going to be too antsy to try and pass anybody at this point as the white flag flies one more time around for James Shelley. Shelley in the 71 won at the Indianapolis for the Indy 250. And he's already won at the Daytona 500 in season 17. Last month, the Indianapolis 250 winner. And he's going to stamp all 3. Shelley's going to be a 500 winner and an Indy 250 winner and win at Darlington. James Shelley streaks to the line and wins at Darlington. DJ Curtis comes across the line in 2nd position. 3rd for Bobby Jones. 4th for Dillon Schwellenberg. 5th goes to Luke Martin. Ryan Griffin lost out at the end. Griffin will settle for 6th place on that strategy. 7th for Richard Johnson. Monster Energy Racing. Their cars finished 3rd, 5th, 6th, and 7th. There's been a crash at the end. Jesse Tunner has crashed. But it looks as though he's going to finish ahead of Dom Caps. Believe that's official, but Tunner has been through it today. Jesse Tunner was the one that spun on the back straightaway there, but he finishes 19th. It's official. So Jesse Tunner gets 21 points on the board, while DJ Curtis gets 50, and Dillon Schwellenberg gets 43. So 2nd and 3rd in the title race are able to close back a handful of points with 8 races to go. But James Shelley in the 71 is now a Daytona 500 champion, a winner in the Indianapolis 250, and also a winner at Darlington. He's a winner at all of the 3 races of the Triple Crown. James Shelley joins Nick Mace, and I wonder if he joins anyone else. I think that's it. I don't think anyone else has won at the Indianapolis 250, the Daytona 500, and at Darlington. James Shelley has done it. He's won the Triple Crown. Attaboy to James Shelley. He got it done and made it happen and was perfect this race. Congratulations to James Shelley on scoring his 6th career win in the Sony Cup Series and making his way into the top 10 in the driver's standings. Let's get you to our finishing results and standings after the round of Darlington.